outside Manhattan. I'm outside St. Louis.
And this is for colored girls who have considered suicide, but have moved to the ends of their own rainbows.
Mama's little baby likes shortly, mama's.
It's a hybrid of poetry, music, and dance. The play, dubbed for colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough, centers on a cast of 7 exploring the complex issues faced by women through a collage of 20 poems.
It's about women talking about their lives, and all of the women, whichever color we're wearing, we're talking about something that's happened in our lives. Mostly to do with men, mostly to do with love, mostly to do with relationships.
I have loved you for 8 months, 2 weeks, and a day. I've been stood up 4 times. I've left 7 packages on your doorsteps. 40 poems, 2 plants, and 3 handmade note cards. I left town so I could send them.
Oh, girl, you crazy, man.
I was in the first production in Kenya 27 years ago, and I've been doing a celebration with reviving some of my favorite work. Now that I am a director, I've been reviving it for a new audience and also for my own. They're good plays. They don't write that many good plays with strong roles for women. And so I wanted to revive this piece in particular because it's a strong 7-hander for women.
Kenyan theatres such as Phoenix and the Kenya National Theatre have produced many successful artists. However, they are still struggling to secure their footing in the country's entertainment sector.
It's sad because 30 years later, you'd think that people would be able to make a living. I don't know that people are able to make a living on TV and music either, but I think it's more visibly better. People are, you see 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Whereas with theatre, I think I'm probably 1 in 100 who can say that this is what I do all the time.
Kenyan theatre goers make up a niche market, and advertising production remains a challenge given the tight budgets.
We had a full house on the opening night and we had a full house on Saturday. We're happy with the fact that people want to come and see this particular show. For a long time, there's been a myth that Kenyans only want to watch comedies. This is not a comedy, and my work tends not to be comedic.
The production was conceptualized during the 1970s by an American author and feminist Gachenge. 3 decades on, the poem still resonates with the 21st century woman.
I think a woman is always a woman, and women have always gone through the same things. I think whether you find a woman in, wherever she may be, I mean, of course there are problems that are, because of circumstances that are different, but I think women, we think about the same things, and that's the beauty of the piece, like you said. We all know what it is to love, to be heartbroken, to, suffer, to endure, to celebrate, to come through, which is a very big part of this show, is the coming through it, not necessarily being steeped in that idea of suffering or, but we all know what those things are, and that's the beauty of it, that women are women wherever you go. As in, they're women, so you would always find something to talk about. Even when you're silent, you know that you are understanding another woman, when she's in pain, when she's suffering, a woman is always a woman.
A large part of the appeal of the poetry is that it straddles class boundaries, portraying a top-notch CEO, an upcoming entrepreneur, and even a greengrocer. The rainbow, which is a symbol for hope, inspired the naming of the cast.
A lady in green is a very reserved, I say she's a very reserved lady, carrying a lot of experience but not willing to share it. Very comfortable with her body. She likes sitting however she will. And she enjoys dancing. She's a dancer. In fact, I have come to realize that she uses dance to mask her pain and her heaviness.
She is very lively, and that's why I'm saying she's a bit younger, you could tell in her experiences. And okay, she's loved, she's lost, she's been upset, but it's the kind of ordinary experience that you have, not as deep or as hurtful as other women may have gone through, but it's that idea that, it's the counterbalance of all the 7 women, that you have all these colors that all make one thing. And the idea is that all of them it's like finding the colors within yourself. So you have those moments when you're lively, and you have the moments when you're sad, and it's like these women are those things as well. So Lady in Yellow is a much more lively character than probably some of the others.
Lady in Red has 3 poems. One of them is about somebody who has been taking her for granted, and another is about being kind of like a streetwalker, but quite sophisticated. She dresses well, but she's a hooker. And the third piece is about her relationship with a man who came back from Vietnam and how damaging that relationship was.
The production does not just inspire its audience. For much of the cast, portraying these women has been an emotional journey.
Definitely considering even what's happening with me, not just Lady in Green, but the whole play has opened me up to being a woman much, much more than I was, and I'm accepting myself in ways that I wasn't before. And that, of course, is affecting even my relationships in my life and embracing who I am as a woman.
It makes you think about yourself a lot more. I think there's one piece probably that everyone feels embodies all of who they are, and it's not necessarily the piece you do. So it really is one of those pieces that makes you be very retrospective, and you tend to think a lot, and it's been interesting that way.
And of course, every story needs a villain. In this case, men take center stage in the lives of the women in Four Colored Girls, confronting HIV and AIDS, heartbreak and loss, which has been the source of some criticism.
Possibly those who say that it's a man-bashing, a male-bashing piece, it's because we're unaccustomed to hearing the woman's side of the story in such graphic terms and in such strong terms. It doesn't mean that all women are angry. It doesn't mean that if you come here as a member of the audience, you're going to hate your man. Or even, all the women here, they're in relationships with brothers, with fathers, with lovers, with husbands. There's no way of saying that this is one thing. Art tells a story. It tells truth. It speaks truth to power.